Hey, everybody. I'm Johnny.
I'm Dave, and this is the Tell You What podcast. Today, I have an interesting topic for you.
What's that?
Have you ever wondered how social media has affected society?
Every day.
I mean, look, let's face it. Like, we're on YouTube, and we have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So you can clearly use social media for good stuff. Right?
True, because when we ask you,
You could order your food, you can meet your lover, you can get a job, you can buy a car now. You could do anything.
Yeah.
You'll watch stuff. You do whatever you want to do. You can
Watch
please
whatever you wanna
yourself,
watch.
do whatever you want to do.
you do your thing.
Right. Everybody do your thing. But I feel like nowadays social media is just kind of used for the look at me factor. Look at me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, social media clearly has its place, I guess, right? You can't do anything these days without being videotaped. It used to be
True.
you can go do stuff without worrying about being filmed. You know what I mean? Just that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I can see that because everybody has a camera and they all carry it in their hands.
Like, I can't help but wonder, like, half of this bad stuff, like, there's a lot of bad stuff going on right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like society has maybe taken a bunch of step backwards
Yeah.
than where we were. Everything from the president to racism,
Yeah.
sexual harassment, education, raising your child,
Uh-huh.
work performance, how people act,
Yeah.
right? Facts.
Dave's getting notes, and I'm with you there because even in the even like the 70s and 80s, everybody was concerned about or even going back as far as the 50s and the 60s, and the commies were going to get us and everybody, and like the whole Cuban Missile Crisis, and
But that was listening to the news on the
everything.
radio, right?
and everything was bad. But then they didn't have this device, boom, at the ready to be like, hey, look what I found,
Yeah.
or to post some thing that may or may not be true.
Yeah, for sure. So this deal here, this isn't a scripted show. We make mistakes.
By no means.
Like in the description, we make mistakes. We
Yeah.
swear. We have opinions, but we're two normal guys. This isn't somebody writing a script and we're like, blah blah. We're not freaking robots, okay?
Yeah.
We're real.
But
people.
Dave's got notes because his brain was so filled up with how to set this up and get everything
Yeah.
going and do things. So you write some stuff down every now and again. So what do you got? Where'd you get this from?
I got this from the internet,
Okay.
from Google. I literally typed, "How has social media affected society?"
Mhm.
And you could take this a couple different ways, but this breaks it down pretty well. So I highlighted some stuff, so bear with me. It says here, social media has been leaked to higher levels of loneliness, envy, anxiety, depression, narcissism, and decreased social skills. And I agree 1,000,000%.
That is sheerly ironic because
Chapman University.
yeah, that's wild. That's crazy ironic because it's supposed to be social media is supposed to make you more social, get you out, get you doing more things, but then that's
It's done the
I find
flip.
I
right?
find it completely opposite.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things do that. Things are supposed to help you, like usually ended up hindering you.
Yeah, it's a hybridized digital version of keeping up with the Joneses, meaning
Oh,
for
yeah.
sometimes it appears everyone you know are in great relationships, taking 5-star vacations and living your dream life.
Mhm.
However, it also says they're only sharing the positive aspects and none of the negative.
Oh yeah, nobody
Because-
wants to share the negative
Yeah,
stuff.
who wants to do that?
Nobody.
But at the same time, for me, like, I've learned a lot in my life about the bad shit. Like, for example, just as a recent example, my current marriage.
Mhm.
Awesome woman who quite literally saved my life. And I'm going to say that every time I talk about her. I don't feel like I made a whole lot of mistakes with my last marriage. I was just me. Okay. But I felt like I did something. But I learned from that.
Mhm.
I learned a few things from that mistake.
Yeah.
So that's the negative side of it. But I learned a lot of positives out of that, right?
Well, yeah, learn from everything.
So this thing also says how does this basically impact relationships, dating, and our love lives? This person's conducted interviews with men and women ranging from the ages of 28 to 73.
73.
28 to 73.
That's
literally one end
Ugh.
to the other. Now, it doesn't say
a
how
huge
many. I could only imagine.
True, but the fact
Those are
those
just
people
the
are in
ages.
there. So,
Right.
yeah.
So you get some of the old people that have the old opinions from the day, from back in the day.
True. Yeah,
And then you have the youngsters that they call millennials now.
Yeah.
Who
We're
rule the
actually-
world, basically.
I'm actually in that group because I was born in 1980, but I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be grouped into that with these clowns.
See that door?
Yeah, exactly.
No, just kidding.
Leave.
But this says here,
It's not
out of
fair.
those people, 28 to 73, it says here, 60% of people using social media reported that it has impacted their self-esteem in a negative way. I can get that.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because then, I mean, then you can really start just touching on even like cyberbullying and stuff like that, you know,
Oh, yeah. I
where
mean,
you put something up, you're like, hey, check this out, look what I did, and then somebody goes, oh, your nose is horrible, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, and then it kind of spirals down from there.
sometimes I look at the internet. I'm a parent and a husband, and I try to build cars and stuff, and sometimes it affects my self-esteem, quite honestly. I don't know if I'm doing stuff right, so it makes me get in my head about it and stuff. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
This here says 50% of these people reported social media having a negative effect on their relationship.
Oof. Why do you think that is?
I'll tell you why I think it is. I think the internet has made it so easy for people to fuck around on their significant others
Really?
just for the sake of doing it.
Hmm.
And maybe it's not 100% social media's fault for that, but they put that shit at the tip of your fingers, you know.
Okay.
And, you know, between the jealousy of your other half and, well, not your other half, but just people's other half in general, or even the jealousy of yourself and, you know, whatever. Like, you see your lady talking to somebody and laughing and chit-chatting on the deal on the social media, whatever.
Yeah.
Depending on what's happened in your past, you can't help but think that maybe, you know, something's
True.
going on, you know. I mean, I'm pretty... I don't know. I can't figure out I'm pretty secure in my relationship, so I don't care.
Mhm.
Me and my woman are, my wife and I we're ride or die. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I've had some past relationships where I've definitely felt that maybe something wasn't on the up and up. You know what I mean? The other thing here, it says from Chapman University, between the ages of 28 and 73, 80% of people in this study reported that it's easier to deceive others through their social media posting.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Now, let me bring up this show that we used to watch called Catfish. Ever seen that show on MTV?
No.
So essentially, it's somebody pretending to be something on one end while they're kind of tricking this person to believe that they're something else. Like if I was catfishing you, I would be a busty redhead or something trying to get you to send me money. And
You're not a busty redhead?
I could be, I guess. I mean, it's the new millennium. I can do whatever I want. I've read it on the internet.
That's true.
I mean,
Okay.
anyway, but yeah, it's basically somebody tricking somebody else into believing that they're in an online relationship and swindling in one way or the other. And sometimes it's the truth. A lot of times it's not. But I mean, think about it. Like, think of all the stuff that you see for sale on the internet that's supposed to be a certain thing.
Oh, yeah.
Say it's a car, and you go there and no rust, low mileage. Fucking thing is sitting in a puddle, surrounded, like there's a tree growing up out of the hood, talking about low mileage and stuff.
Clean
Well,
one
what the
owner.
hell? Come
Yeah.
on now, you know what I mean? So this deal also says, let's see, can it be that our highly connected world has now become disconnected? The paradox effect in dating is creating the illusion of having more social engagement, social capital, and popularity, but masking one's true persona. Now, let me tell you what.
Look what I did.
Let me tell you what. A few relationships ago, I tried this whole phenomenon of meeting people on the internet.
For just in general or just for friends or
I had
just,
no freaking idea.
dating life, or what was your...
I'm
You didn't really
kind
know
of,
what you were after.
I consider
huh?
myself socially awkward. I'm not a terrible person. I'm not saying that.
You're just a little more introverted than
Yes, I prefer the company of my family, staying home, maybe the occasional car show, having a few people over.
Gotcha,
That's just
okay.
what I prefer.
most. All right.
And it's always been that way.
Okay.
And I think it's from when I was younger. and I was teased and bullied and all that. I don't want to deal with that bullshit. Let me just figure it out. So I can tell you, and I'm sure it goes both ways. With the ladies have this problem too. A lot of the ladies that I was talking to were very creative with the camera, and I felt like
That's the nicest way you could ever put that.
I felt like they stretched the truth a little bit. And I'm not picking on the ladies because I'm sure the guys do the same thing. They send these pictures to these girls or guys or whatever you're into of these buffed out dudes, 12 packs or 6 packs or whatever. And come to find out, they meet the guy and he's like 400 pounds and, whatever. Like, and I don't care. Your thing is your thing. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying,
Man.
I've been part of that too, where it was easy for these people to deceive. And it was like one time it was so bad. No shit. It was so bad. I get there. I knock on the door.
Oh, this is
So-and-so here. Oh, yeah. It's nice to finally meet you in person. I was like, no. I'm looking for so-and-so. Yeah, I'm right here. No. That's not. And I try not to use pictures as
Did you want like a
as
point
an
of
image.
reference? You're just kind of like,
it's more of a point
No,
of reference.
that's
So
not
if
you.
I see your face, I know who you are. I know you're not BSing me, right? Dude, when was this picture taken? Like, oh my God. And I know the ladies have the same thing with the dudes.
yeah.
And whatever you guys, girls, whatever. I bet they've all experienced that at least one time.
Wow.
So yeah, I can relate to that 1,000,000%. I mean, it says right here, it's much easier to emotionally manipulate others. And it totally is.
Oh man, yeah.
Because like they have like the keyboard warriors or the internet tough guys or tough gals or like the strong person behind the keyboard. But when it comes face to face,
Oh yeah, that's
like my car, for instance,
Uh-huh.
I put a lot of heart and soul and
yeah.
blood and fucking tears in this thing.
Uh-huh.
I will talk to you over the computer or over text until the sun goes down. But you meet me in person and I'm more like, I'm just kind of subtle about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's a Nova. It's got a modern motor, supercharged,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But if I'm talking to you on the thing, I'm like, oh yeah, it's green. It's got these wheels, this offset, this, blah,
That's
blah,
so-
blah, 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 blah. And that's my comfy place. So imagine,
That's interesting.
isn't it?
Well, the thing, and now that you actually made me kind of bring up this point where like you're talking about being bullied and pushed around or whatever as a kid.
Right.
I grew up the poor fat kid. Okay, you don't want to talk about being made fun of and this and that, but ironically, it's funny you say that because this actually just popped into my mind right now that you say how you're like really good behind a keyboard. I can't type and I sound utterly idiotic
Sure.
behind a keyboard or whatever, but on the phone I'm good or in person. And I will attest to this, and I don't know what it's based on. I don't know whether it's the fact of I have actually gotten more confident with myself and who I am and what I look like and whatever, and I just don't care in my age, in my mid-30s, or the fact, or a combination of both, of the fact that everybody is so socially inept or weird now that they're fantastic behind a keyboard, and just like you just said,
Mhm.
you get them in front of you and they're just like, hey,
Yeah.
and so I've noticed that. That's weird that you bring that up because I have completely noticed that because I can talk to anybody, ask our coworkers, ask anybody. I'll just be like, hey, guess what? How's it going? Yeah, and it's just, and everybody's like, how do you have the ability or the ineptness or the skill to just be like, hi, I don't know you, I've never seen you before, and you're going to talk to me. You don't know it, but you're going to talk
You're
to
going
me.
to talk to me.
And they do. And these people do. And they're just like, but even after a while, they're just like, why am I still talking to this guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, probably because I'm still talking.
That's true. So this deal here, let's see here. It says something along the lines of 57% of singles say social media has generated a fear of missing out, or commonly called FOMO.
FOMO. Yes, FOMO. My
What's
God.
your opinion about that?
I think it's a thing. I know it's a...
What do they mean?
I know what my kids. I have a 5-year-old and an 18-month-old. They have a FOMO that that's why kids can't get to sleep because it's fear of missing out because they're doing all this neat stuff and all this other stuff and
I
everything's
call that
going
nosy
on.
kids. I have a couple.
Yeah, just they're like, well, no, I don't want to go to bed because maybe I'm gonna miss something.
That's
But
true.
I guess as it goes along,
Million
you know,
percent true.
fear of missing out. Well, just like you said, with all the people posting 5-star vacations and great things, and
Sure.
and look at me, I'm out having drinks at this cool, fun, trendy bar with my friends and everything. Well, A, turns out you haven't been out in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
B, you just happen to have these people stop by. Because I remember one time years ago when my niece came up to visit me. My sister is 18 years older than
Sure.
I am, so she's got kids roughly the same age as I am. And she came up and we went to this Irish pub that I'd gone a couple of times. And it just so happened to turn out that everybody that I knew was there. So into my niece's eyes, or maybe say I put this on social media to somebody else's eyes, it looks like I'm there all the time, know everybody.
Mhm.
You know, it's like freaking Cheers. I've got,
I get it.
Norm, I've got my spot at the bar. No, it's not that. It just
Not that
happened
at
to
all.
be that I stopped in there on a Friday or Saturday night and happened to be a bunch of just pure coincidence.
Okay.
So the fear of missing out, yeah, everybody, well, what about that? I want to go. I want to do it. Maybe I...
Yeah, this thing says in their study, 50% of people reported feeling FOMO when comparing themselves to others on social media, while 60% of millennials reported feeling FOMO. So is that essentially saying that like
60%?
that older folks don't give a shit as much as millennials?
Well, yeah, because they've had enough experience to go along and realize things are not what they seem,
Yeah.
based
I
on
get it.
time, based on experience.
Yeah, this says anything we share on our streams are things that we're either excited about or creating some popularity for yourself. Are we supposed to applaud that you are about to eat? Are we supposed to applaud that you are out? Are we supposed to applaud that about your 100th selfie that you took while you're out?
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get it.
Food pictures are still a little weird to me.
I post a lot of food pictures on my Facebook.
I didn't say they were bad. I just
No,
said
no,
it was
I'm-
just different.
I'm with it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because my life isn't that exciting. I have an exciting woman. My kids are great.
Mhm.
I've had a few setbacks with pets and stuff in the car and all that. And a few other setbacks, but I'm not shy. Like, I put it out there. However,
Mhm.
I don't expect a reaction. If I get a reaction, whatever. But generally, my posts aren't to get a reaction. I don't need folks' pity because, quite honestly, I probably put myself in that situation.
Yeah,
Except for the
you
dog
did.
thing,
Well, yeah.
which we'll talk about. But
We'll talk about that later. But
we haven't done
yeah,
that.
so you post the food picture out there because you're not necessarily wanting to toot your own horn or go, hey, look at me. You just kind of want to, hey, check it out. You know, I wish I could kind of share this. And Lane, don't get me wrong. Like I said, growing up in California and being around California cuisine, and friends of ours had a restaurant and kind of a resort
Mhm.
type, whatever, bed and breakfast.
Mhm.
You know, food presentation and view, that was a thing. But
Sure.
even then, like if you wanted to get a picture of it, you had to have photographers and all this other nonsense.
Fucking gear.
Yeah, all
craziness.
this crap, you know. Now I just go click and it looks fantastic.
Sure.
And like I said, I get that. And if I get something that's really, oh, check that out. That's really cool. I think I'll take a picture of it. I'm not one to share it because I'm not that big of a participator on social media to begin with.
Right.
For whatever reason, I really don't know why. Maybe I'm lazy.
So the last thing this thing says here is, won't this impact our dating behaviors? If we only broadcast the look at me, are we able to deal with the side of rejection, detachment, and non-commitment?
Wow.
I mean, look, I feel like people
Rejection.
nowadays aren't able to function when it comes to rejection or whatever other bullshit, the commitment
Non-commitment
stuff. Because now I feel like everybody's trying to kind of like one up everybody as far as like,
It goes back to the first point. They keep up with the
Committing.
Joneses.
yeah, 1,000,000%.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like society's probably been shamed in like disciplining their children in a sense.
Yeah.
I know how bad I was spanked when I was young, and yeah, it's affected me as an adult, but in the sense of I'm not out doing dumb things.
True.
I feel like kids have it pretty bad in regards to social media because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, when we were kids and we got bullied, and look, I am 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
I'm 250 pounds. It's not all fat. It's not all muscle either.
Yeah.
But I'm a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You're not somebody that's in a crowd that somebody's just gonna like push over or push around and
no, some have tried.
yeah, but and just like with the, it's just the overall stature.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a bad neighborhood down in Richmond up until I was like 13 or 14, 13. And then we moved to like Pittsburgh or something, which was an interesting kind of change.
Did we touch on how Richmond was?
Where all the homies from Oakland come and say it's a bad place.
Exactly. Yeah, so Richmond's where the homies from Oakland come over. That's a rough place. So,
Yeah.
so Dave
But-
can take care of himself.
But I mean, I can in some aspects, but in none of the times when we grew up, and we're pretty close in age, so you're
Yeah.
kind of the same. When we grew up, there weren't cameras everywhere.
No.
There wasn't a cell phone in everybody's freaking pocket. You know what was in everybody's pocket when I was in high school? If you were cool, and when I was in ninth grade, pagers. That's when pagers started to come. Right.
I was gonna say Skull or Copenhagen, but that's if you're from a little hick town.
That's
in
where if
California.
you're from Lodi. Not
Yeah,
from
exactly where it's from.
But yeah, they have pagers. So, but now kids, they're not only getting bullied in school, okay, they're getting bullied on social media too. Like my 12-year-old does not have a cell phone, and most of that is because he can't pull his head out of his ass to make the right decisions.
Mm-hmm.
We've done everything we could to show him the path. He just refuses to take the path. So we're chalking it up to him, puberty and stuff. I hope, because it's definitely not a lack of ability of our parenting.
Yeah.
But he told us he goes to school here in Cold Springs at the middle school, and I think he's going into 7th grade. And he told me about some kid supposedly punched him in the face, and my kid's not, with respect, okay, my kid's not the nicest, okay, so that didn't surprise me, and I don't bother asking for stories anymore because I don't necessarily get the truth, but I bet you that somebody had a freaking phone out and recorded it.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of these kids are getting bullied at school. They're getting bullied on the internet now, on the Facebook,
Mhm.
and the Instagram, and there was all this stuff. So yes, I admit that life is hard on children these days in that sense because we didn't have to worry about that so much.
If you're gonna get bullied, if you're gonna get picked on, it was just right there, boom, at school, and then
That's it.
and then for me, I had maybe just my overall attitude or personality. I was lucky enough to have enough people that had my back that I didn't have to worry about that.
Correct.
So
And I didn't really have a whole lot of friends growing up anyway. I've always been what I'd like to say, just awkward, and I'm okay with that. I don't care.
see, that's so weird because I just actually have talking about friends. I have a friend who lives in San Diego, and she's fantastic. She's awesome. She's got her own family now, and a couple years ago I went down there. She was at our wedding. I didn't get to go to hers because it was in a different country. Kind of bummed about that. But I met her in the 3rd grade, and I kid you not, in the 3rd grade, I was that guy already. That she had just moved here, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, no one's talking to me. She's weird." And I was just like, because I went to this school from the first grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade,
Mhm.
and so you know all these people. And I looked up and go, I'm like, "Oh, you're new." And so I still remember, in this is like left corner of this classroom, I'm gonna go, "Hi, I'm Johnny. How are you?" And she's like, "You were the only one that came up and talked to
Mhm.
me." And I tell that story, and people are like, "You were that guy then."
In
Well,
the
yeah, I
3rd
guess
grade.
in the 3rd grade, and multiple years later. I mean, we're gonna be 40 here pretty soon. Our birthdays are about in the same
Mhm.
time in August, and that's a we celebrated our 35th birthday, our kind of mutual birthday parties together a few years ago. I'm like, but that's a long time to know somebody. So like I
Yeah.
said, I've always kind of had. I can still kind of go back and see some of the friends, the people that I grew up with, but
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time that social media has affected you in a negative way?
oh yeah, oh.
Like, let's narrow it down to: has social media affected you in a negative way recently, within the last, say, year?
In the last year?
If not, let's go 2.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to tell this story,
Well, then don't.
but I
mean,
I don't know. I just might. I'm going to see how much I can beat around the bush with this story, but I'm going to tell it.
Okay. But we do have a time limit, you know.
I know, but that's the thing you got to worry about with me. My wife, because I don't post. Like I said, I got to thank everybody out there for posting and being involved. And I try to be involved as much as I can. But like as far as like regular social media and stuff, and putting my stuff and anything on Facebook, my wife set up my account years ago. I just don't have the interest for it. And
Sure.
I again, call it laziness, call it I don't know. My wife posted a picture of, we went down to see a family member, and my wife posted like a thank you and a picture of our daughter with this family member that said, hey, thanks to them, we got to go down and see
Sure.
this person and had a great time. It was a real quick picture, boom, tank. It was just kind of I don't, again, not being a poster, I didn't really know the reason for it. But I was like, okay, that's cool. Look, everybody could see our daughter. She had a fun time. It was more, hey, look, we got to have a fun time with this family member, with our daughter. Great. This family member's significant other,
Okay.
who is not on Facebook,
Okay.
is not one of my wife's friends, is not one of my friends, should actually never see the post.
Okay.
And actually, the person that this post was made about is not on Facebook either. These are older folks. So this person's significant other got this other person so riled up that they weren't mentioned, that this person wasn't mentioned in this post.
FOMO.
Yeah. They were so aggravated and so irritated that this person that the post was about called me on my phone at lunch in tears and said, if you don't mention that other person, hey, we don't want you here either, this and that. And I'm just like,
What?
I'm like, things I don't have time for. This, and this is not right
Wow.
now. No, I don't.
That
I
sounds
didn't-
horrible.
I didn't realize we were 12.
Apparently, we were 12.
Apparently you can't give like a group thank you, or if you're here and somebody does something, if you're in a group, if it's 2 people or if it's 5 people or if it's 10 people, say I'm here, you're in a group, you're right here, and this group does something for me, or if it's 2 people and I go, hey, thanks, and I leave. Okay, that's what I did. This person behind you or over here or wherever gets mad that I didn't directly address them and tell them thank
I have
you.
a few words for somebody like that.
That is exactly what happened.
Mind your business, Felicia.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That right there. That's exactly what happened. That is the pure, unadulterated analogy of what happened. We went, hey, thanks. But this person, they didn't get a thank you, so they threw a fit.
Huh. That
And
sounds
then
like a shitty
made
situation.
this person, the person that I did thank, mad. Because they threw such a fit.
Hmm.
That happened. That's true story.
BS.
Yeah.
Well,
Social media.
yeah. Anyhow, speaking of social media,
And I'm all rattled up.
Now you're all
And
rattled
I'm gonna
up.
shake it up.
Listen,
for
guys,
that.
we're on YouTube. I realize that this is the Tell You What podcast, and we don't quite have a podcast. It's because it costs money.
We're getting there. Thank you for your time and support in our infancy.
Yeah. We posted some links. Another episode I showed you this month. We have a few of them. I posted some pictures up on our Facebook page. We try to use our social media just to kind of get our name out. We're kind of pondering a Facebook group where we can kind of banter back and forth with everybody. But
And again, it just all goes in sheer irony. We sit here and talk about how social media is, this and it's that, but we use it to get out there and to be in touch
It's not all
with
bad.
people. It's not. It's really not. I mean, to use it to, I think what it was designed, if you use it to kind of what it's designed for, to reach out and communicate beyond a smaller area, then it's cool.
Yeah.
But again, just like with anything, whether it's lines at the amusement park or anything else, you start putting humans into it, and it just kind of goes south.
Yeah. Anyhow, speaking of social media, check out our YouTube page.
Yeah.
There's a direct link. If you click on the link on our Facebook to our website, there's a direct link to our YouTube channel there. On the website, we have a buy stuff area. You can check some stuff out.
Hit subscribe. Don't forget
Hit
to do that.
subscribe. Please hit subscribe.
Smash the subscribe.
But we do appreciate your support. We record this thing in Reno, in Cold Springs, in my garage right now. It's not very cold. It's pretty hot. We got an AC going. We got a fan going. We got drinks. Doing the best we can here.
So-
Poor Johnny's sweating, but
What's that? I'm always sweating. I'm fat.
anyhow, thanks for your support. Seriously, we appreciate your time. I know it's tough to sit through a 30-minute long video, but we do appreciate your time. Please share this thing, subscribe to this thing, like this thing, and if you have any stories about social media, please do share. I'm going to post these episodes on Facebook and stuff. Share your experiences. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Questions, comments,
concerns,
yeah, anything.
anything.
In the meantime, I was just told by my kid, barbecue's ready.
Yeah.
So
That's what we're gonna go do.
you guys have a good day. We appreciate you. And don't forget to check out tellyouwhatpodcast.com. Tell you what.
With YA.
Y-A.
YAWhatpodcast.com. Find a bunch of links to our good stuff that we like to use. Charcoal grills, gas grills.
Pet stuff, chew
stuff,
toys,
good stuff
cat
out there,
scratchers, pet bowls,
Yeah.
just coffee
Some
cups.
neat stuff that we
Neat
use,
stuff.
that we like, that we've talked about. So
There's
we'll
also
get some more stuff up there too.
there's links. This whole podcast thing. There's links. If you want to make one of your own, you can. We have links for close to a soundboard that we use. It's like the
That's right,
upgraded
yeah.
model of that. Even a computer, you get a good deal on a MacBook Pro. And they're all Amazon links. If you want to start a podcast, there's microphones and all that stuff. Go there.
And if you got any questions on how to set it up, how everything's done, whatever,
Yeah,
feel free to shoot us an email or a comment in there. We'll get back to you. We'll figure it out.
we will. We're not jerks on social media. We're real guys. We're dads. We're husbands. We're coworkers. We work. We're broke sometimes. But still,
See,
we're
my
real
cup-
people.
My cup doesn't even have anything on it. That's how broke we are right now.
Anyhow, everybody, have a good day. Thank you for tuning in.
See you much.
Thanks.
Bye.